being a wisdom keeper, there's not very many of us on the planet right now. And I am the blondest, whitest, youngest wisdom keeper out of the whole group. And sometimes that's a bit rough to deal with because, like all of you know, if you come to see little grandmother, you're not expecting this. And so it does make me nervous. And some of the other films that I've done, you get the comments of, why weren't you in full regalia and things like that. I could very much be sitting here in full regalia, but this is me. And so I'm here to share my message with you, just being who I am, part of you. Just like you are you, I am me, and I'm not here for some big show. I'm simply here to share from my heart the information I've received over the last year. As wisdom keepers, we have made an oath to share no matter how hard it is to share. And some things are difficult for me to talk about because although I believe them full-heartedly, I would never question any information I got. It's sometimes difficult for others to hear, but I'm going to share exactly as I have received, and knowing that what has come is for the people of this planet, of this Mother Earth, at this time right now, and it's being asked to be shared. Everyone is supposed to be hearing these messages now. And all across the globe, the wisdom keepers are all talking about the same things. And so now it is time for us to hear the wisdom of the grandfathers, the grandmothers, and those on the other side, who we have been taught to listen to and to trust with our entire lives. And so I would like to start by talking about, not jumping right into 2010, but I would like to talk about first a little recall of what's happened in the last couple of years. And so we have kind of a format to follow here. 2 years ago, in about 2008, the wisdom keepers were gathered for a meeting. And it was at that time that we were asked to share with the people, for the people of all nations, all colors, all indigenous tribes and non-indigenous tribes, to understand the importance of our ancestors, of the ancient ways. And so this is what we talked about for a full year. Please remember your ancient cultures. Remember what the ancient people talked about. Remember your ancestors. Remember those ways. Remember the wisdom that they kept. And for a full year, that is all we talked about. And then that led into the Return of the Ancestors Gathering, which was a large ceremony that a few of you were attending at that time. If you think back about it, you can actually see a large change even here in Santa Fe in the last couple of years. Think of some of the cultural differences, how people are actually listening to and understanding the ancient ways, the ancestors. And so this has really transpired and has really happened. On a global level, people are remembering those ancient truths that we once had and that they talked about. Then after that, we were asked as a collective whole of wisdom keepers to speak about remember who you are. And if you were here at the last taping or the last meeting that we've had, that was the main topic. So please remember who you are. And I would like to talk a little bit about that because most of you were not here. And in order to understand what is being asked of us in 2010, you must remember who you are. At that time, I was asked to speak about this, and the best way to describe it is that a very long time ago, our ancient ancestors knew many, many truths about how to live on this planet, conduct ourselves with one another, how to remember, how to listen to higher self, how to get correct answers for one another and for yourself. And somewhere along that line, we forgot who we were. We split off into different religious groups. We split off into different groups and we hated one another. We went to war with one another. We did all manner of pretty terrible things because we lost the ancient truths. And so for a moment, I would ask you to do something. Set aside, and I respect all religions, please don't get me wrong, but for one moment, set aside religion. Set aside man-made organizations. Set aside rules and regulations. Set aside right and wrong and believing you can earn your way into heaven and that there's something out there that you have to live up to in order to live in heaven. I would ask you just for a moment, if you could, set that down. And now for a moment, I want you to think about what it would be like, what it is like, to understand you are God. There is not something else ruling your life. You are ruling your life. There is no one else to live up to. You are God and you are Goddess. You are the great I am. Every single one of you is the great I am. I am the great I am. I am God and Goddess. I am a creator. So are every single one of you. Religion is man-made. That is scary to say, especially on camera, because for most of my life I belonged to a very strict religion. But I say to you now, with all of my knowing and every bit of my being, religion is man-made. Something separated us from the great I am. Something separated us from our true knowing. And we are asking you as wisdom keepers all over this planet to remember you are God. You are Goddess. You are the Creator. You are the great I am. You are not separate from Tokashila. You are Tokashila. You are God. If you can really understand that, if you really get that, you came from something much vaster, much larger than many of us remember. It was something enormous that we came from, where all things exist, where all things are perfect and beautiful. And our great I am sent a little spark of us here to a planet which is just not a rock orbiting in this system, but is something more sacred than almost any of us can fathom. This beautiful Mother Earth is exactly as I say. She is our mother. She is sacred goddess, and she is revered and loved not just by humankind, but by many, by everyone that is out in the great everything. And so if you really think about that, if there are many, many, many beings all over, and they all revere our Mother Earth as something sacred, how privileged we are to be here. We're here. Not everybody gets to come. Not everybody gets to come to this planet. And not only are we here, but we are here right now. When Mother Earth becomes her own beautiful, immaculate goddess that comes into her own changing. And we're going to see that happen when this planet becomes her own heaven, when she comes into her full glory. That is happening now. It is going to happen in your lifetime, and it's already on its way. Now, do you think by any great chance that we are just here? If something so sacred and so brilliant is changing into her most brilliant way of being, how blessed of a chance that we are here. You are here. I am here. It is because we are the strongest of the strong. Throughout your lineage,